come after me and you know something from my past and say it all, girl. Ask me for my phone records. Here are all my texts I sent you. It's always funny, like you everything is exposable, right? So why are people so shocked when they read someone's secret DMs? Oh, I can't believe you said this. I can't believe the text said that. We all text 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If any of our texts were exposed, we would have things in there that we didn't necessarily intend for the public. Just own it, just own it. Who cares? So I always said if someone comes after me, I mean, here's the damn phone, expose it all, read every word. I don't fucking care. So Jared Osmond doesn't seem to care either. He's saying expose all my texts, but he's in the comments calling a troll an elf. He said, "You're a little elf. Have a good life." Apparently, he hates Bronwyn and he loves Mary. Says she's an upstanding woman. So there you go. Shep, our little Shep Rose. I'm excited for Southern Charm. I'm going to watch this season. I think last season was one of the best seasons we had in a really long time. I don't know if Craig and Paige are going to make it. I'm not so sure about that. But Shep was asked at the Fan Fest, were you shocked about JT's resignation? Shep said, I got sent that and I'm not shocked. And he said that he went to, I think, Costa Rica and I think had like I don't know if it was like a near death experience, but had like one of those, something happened in Costa Rica. And, sometimes like when these near death things happen or you learn, it's so funny though. You look at like, I mean, this is just where my mind goes. You look at like Vicki Gunvalson. She had that real sickness earlier, that sepsis or whatever earlier this year. You'd think she'd come out of that and say nothing in life matters. Nothing except physical and mental health. And then, I mean, she's back to her old ways. We're going to talk about Vicki in a minute. But Shep is saying that JT came back and like, at times he wasn't making sense. And he's basically implying JT was up and down and all around. And he was in the comments. I said, this is what I teach when we do our consulting on the weekends. Book me per hour. Really, life coaching, podcast coaching. Everyone's booking me for business consulting, not even podcast or life coaching. I can do all. We literally will sit here. And by the way, it doesn't have to be on the weekends. We can pay per hour. We also could do half an hour if you want to save some money. But Shep is saying that, JT's in the comments and reading them, which is the worst thing. And Shep is like, we all did it at the beginning. And then one day you just don't care. Do you really not care? Hey, Shep doesn't need the course, but maybe JT does. But he said basically, he implies JT like kind of went off the rails and got into it this season, like just reading everything about himself and just couldn't help it. And basically is implying he had a mental breakdown, which I guess we're going to see that unfold before our eyes. But he's saying nothing, we're not curing cancer over here. And basically nothing is worth your mental health. Good. Yes, Shep. I love this. So JT apparently left because it really was getting to him again. Look at Giselle. Look at Luann. Look at most of the Beverly Hills housewives. It's just a job. Don't look at Teresa. Don't look at Margaret Joseph. Don't look at Alexia. Don't look at Candace Dillard. I love Candace, but don't let it get to you. Show up, get your paycheck, and nothing matters. The check cleared. Don't go pay bloggers, allegedly Teresa. It's a job. Who cares? Shouldn't be on TV. So poor JT. But apparently that's why he left. Andy Cohen, besides just telling us how great it's going to be, we're going to have to get Melissa's old nose back on and talk about some things. Andy's saying, RHONY, this new cast of RHONY, this is the future. Like, get it, deal with it. And by the way, RHONY, a lot of people have been making comments on YouTube of like, oh shit, we're fucked because RHONY has done so well being after Beverly Hills. They went from like the low 300s to I think the mid 400s. Oh, Andy's also saying overnight ratings don't tell us everything. Okay, girl. But RHONY has benefited from being after Beverly Hills, and people are commenting on YouTube, oh shit, we're in trouble. Meaning that you guys dislike it so much, you actually want it canceled. By the way, guys, you don't have to listen. Just stop listening if you don't like it, right? Just stop watching, actually. I'm losing my mind. Listen, watch. I can't think of like, are we on Apple now or are we on YouTube? Who's listening where? But just don't watch Roni. But I mean, it has benefited from that. And Andy said this cast is the future. So basically, they're not going anywhere. Again, he says RHOA is outstanding. And we have Porsha back. There wasn't a lot of claps when he was saying it's an outstanding season. Not many people clap. Not many people even clap for Porsha. The crowd kind of went wild when he said Phaedra's back, and he confirmed New Jersey, you know, we ain't nowhere close to figuring it out. Although he did say when he was slapping down Jennifer Aiden when she was talking about coming back, he's like, "Well, we figured a few things out." So, but he did confirm, like New Jersey, we're not going to know anything possibly anytime soon. Lala and her assistant, everyone's been asking me to talk about this. Lala and her assistant on the podcast and what happened. I've said it before, I say it again. I did a podcast consulting, speak about my weekend career with someone recently, and she is going to start a podcast. I forgot the subject matter. And she was saying, like, I think it's just going to be me, the way you do Just David, and blah, blah, blah. And she mentioned a co-host, like, should. And I went basically crazy on this client and said, listen, I cannot stress this enough to you. I cannot stress this enough. Never, ever, ever, ever have a permanent co-host, ever. It ultimately will not, 9 out of 10 times ultimately will not work out. I was just on a podcast recently. That's going to come out. Very good podcast that is starting with people that are very well known in the Housewives world. And I said this, and I was like, oh shit, like there's two of you. Whoops, like let me backtrack. But they're in a different situation, I guess. But I don't know. I just never have a co-host. Never. It never, ever, ever goes well. And when you have a 1 day co-host, 1 day a week, and they start to get too big for their britches and they want to do 2, 3, 4 days with you, cut them off at the knees. Do not have a co-host. So it doesn't shock me that Lala and the assistant fell out. There's a lot of back and forth, and Lala's, of course, implying that, this girl wanted her 15 minutes. Look at everybody wants their 15 minutes. Everybody. That this girl wanted her 15 minutes, and Sheena basically confirmed that. And, the assistant's like teasing her own podcast. She's behind a microphone. She's like, stay tuned. Yeah, she signed an NDA. I don't know. I mean, what? So she's going to talk. And Lala, look, we can all sign things. The point is, are you going to be sued? So she could talk, and is Lala really going to sue her? I don't know. But we'll see what happens. It is interesting. I'm on the case. I have someone looking into this because you guys want more information on this. Lala's also confirmed that she doesn't speak to Ariana at all, but wishes her the best of luck. Hasn't spoken to Katie at all since the reunion. Sandoval reaches out, but she's a horrible texter. They weren't friends before. Why would they be friends now? Dodie, she's implied, look, I burned some bridges. LVP, she's great with. Jax, she had to block him, but she sees him at school. Summer Moon and Cruzy and Ocean go to school together, and she's great with Brittany, and her and Randall, shockingly, are good. They're co-parenting. Yeah, they're up and she says she's a good ride. They're up and down. Some days they get along, but bottom line is it's all about co-parenting, and they're doing pretty